Good morning, children. Welcome to economics class. See, in the last class, we completed learning about integral calculus. The whatever is there in the syllabus topic, we finished that with examples and the exercise sums in part C. And a few of you have completed the homework and you've sent me the pics, but many of you have not done the homework. And I cannot keep on coming behind you to complete your homework. Okay, I would like to just give you one reminder and then I would report to principal ma'am. That's it. Next is the next topic what we need to learn today is consumer surplus. See, this theory was developed by Alfred Marshall. Actually, this theory, it tells us about the relationship between the quantity that is being demanded and the price that people are ready to give for a product. That is, now we learned about this topic in chapter 2, that is consumer surplus is given by the formula potential price minus actual price. That is, potential price is the price that the consumers are ready to pay for the product that they wanted to buy, and actual price is a price that prevails in the market. The difference between the two is nothing but consumer surplus. We learnt a separate theory, and in this topic we are going to find what is the value of consumer surplus. See, consumer surplus is more so dependent on the price that the people are ready to pay for the product, and it also depends upon the demand that is being created for the product. So if you look into the mathematically, when we need to find the value of consumer surplus, we need to go with this formula: the area under the demand curve from where the x value is 0 and where the x naught value is given, minus area of the rectangle. Might be now it might be a little confusing for you to understand, but I shall teach you a sum where it would be very easy for you to go through the sum. Now take page number 264. You have a sum. In that sum, it is given, the demand function is given to be P is equal to 35 minus 2x minus x square, and the demand x naught is given to be, x value is given to be 3. That is, price is given to be 3, because here when you say P is equal to 35 minus 2x minus x square, here x is nothing but the price of the commodity. P is nothing but the demand function, which means quantity demanded. Quantity demanded changes according to the price only. So here price is nothing but the value of x. Here they have given the value of x to be 3. And what will be the, you are asked to find what will be the consumer surplus if the price is given to be 3 and the demand curve, the function, the slope of the equation of the demand curve is given to be 35 minus 2x minus x square. So according to the sum, they have given you the demand function. Just take it and write it, demand function, that is P is equal to 35 minus 2x minus x square. Now here the price is given to be, x naught is given to be 3. We need to find what? Consumer surplus. Here price is P, refers to quantity demanded. They have used the variables quantity demanded to be P, and price here refers to the x value. Now here what is, how to find, go with the solution. Here price is given to be 3 and the quantity is given to be, you can find the quantity that is demanded when the price is 3. Now when you substitute x is equal to 3 in the quantity demanded equation, we will be getting P is equal to, that is quantity demanded is equal to 35 minus 2x is there. Instead of x, you need to take it as 3. So 2 into 3 minus x square is given in the question. So instead of x, you need to write 3. So it will be 3 square, that is 35 minus 2 into x, that is 2 into 3 minus x square, that is minus 3 square. When you simplify that, you get 35 minus 2 3s are 6 minus 3 into 3, it is 9. So when you just simplify that, 35 minus 6 minus 3, you get 35 minus 15, which is 20 units, which means when the price is 3, the quantity demanded is 20. Always we know that the demand curve is a downward sloping curve. Always demand curve DD is what? A downward sloping curve, which means the quantity demanded and the price, they are inversely related to each other. When price is more, we buy less units of commodity. When one is high, the other, when one increases, the other value decreases. So we say that there exists an inverse relationship between two variables. That is the reason why the demand curve is a downward sloping curve. Now we have found out the quantity demanded given the price to be 3 with the help of the demand function, which is given to be P is equal to 35 minus 2x minus x square. Now we have got two values. With this value, we are going to construct the demand curve. Now look into the graph here. The graph here, in the x-axis we have taken quantity demanded, in the y-axis we have taken price. I told you the demand curve is a downward sloping demand curve. Just draw the demand curve DD and name it as what is the function of the demand curve. It is given to be P is equal to 35 minus 2x minus x square. I have written that also. Now here they say that when price is 3, quantity demanded is 20. So just mark in the y-axis, separate it, you can graduate it according to convenience, equate it and graduate at point 3. When the price is 3, the quantity demanded is how much? 20. Just draw this rectangle. Okay, now on the demand curve, you can plot the point where the x value is 20 and the y value is 3. I have written within bracket 20 comma 3, which means that particular point, the values of x and the values of y are given there. I think you should be knowing this because you have been doing in 10th standard maths by plotting the points. The first value normally refers to the x-axis value and the second value always represents the y-axis value. Now, I have given you a shaded portion, right? That portion is nothing but consumer surplus. 3 is the original price. When the price is 3, quantity demanded is 20. The excess price is given there is at the shaded portion. That portion refers to consumer surplus. Now, how to find that shaded portion? We have since we have learnt integration, using integration, we can find the portion of the shaded portion, that is the area of the shaded portion. Consumer surplus is given by the formula area of the curve below the demand curve from 0 to 3. Just look into the curve, the equation of the curve is given. When we integrate, we need to find the area of the curve, area of the total portion which is below the given demand curve. From that, we need to take away the area of the rectangle. We need to remove the rectangle. Then you would get the shaded portion, that is CS, whatever I have marked. That is area of the demand curve which lies from 0 to 3. From 0 to 3, you have the whole area of the triangle. You will be able to find. From that, we have to take away the rectangular portion, which is the unshaded portion. When you remove that area, you would be getting the consumer surplus, the shaded portion. Now, how to get the area below the demand curve? We'll be able to get the area of the area below the demand curve when we integrate the demand function. We need to integrate the function P is equal to 35 minus 2x minus x square by giving limits 0 to 3. When we give the limits from 0 to 3 and integrate the values, you get the total area of the portion which is below the demand curve. And from that we have to delete the area of the rectangle. Area of the rectangle, all of us know it is length into breadth. Here the length is nothing. The length into breadth is 3 into 20. You can take it in either way. Length to be 20 and the breadth to be 30. Now, how to integrate and find the values? Now, integration, you have to give the limit from 0 to 3 because we don't have we need not get the whole area below the demand curve. We want the demand curve only from 0 to 3. Okay, from Z3 is the maximum, is a value given in the question itself. 3 is nothing but the price of the product. From D0 to 3, whatever is the portion that is lying below the demand curve. How to get it? You integrate it by giving limits 0 to 3. Integrate with respect to x. 35 minus 2x minus x square. You integrate with respect to x minus area of the rectangle. Area of the rectangle is what? Length into breadth. What is the length? 20. Breadth is how much? 3. So, you minus 20 into 3. When you integrate a constant value, you get that is whatever is the number succeeded by the value x. So, 35 when you integrate it becomes 35x, and when you integrate 2x, integration means what? Addition of powers. Already 2 is there, x to the power 1 becomes x square divided by 2. So, this 2 and 2 gets cancelled, remaining you will be having only x square. Now, this minus x square will become x to the power 3 divided by 3, and again give the limits from 0 to 3. Minus 20 into 3, it is 60. Now, here what we need to do is, we need to substitute the values of 3 in place of x and the value 0 in place of x. First thing is, substitute x is equal to 3 in the given equation, that is 35 minus x, 35x will be is nothing but 35 into 3, just a second children, minus x square is nothing but 3 square minus x power 3 divided by 3. This is nothing but 3 cube divided by 3. You have to subtract from that. Substitute x value to be 0 now. Now, the same thing, 35 into 0 minus 0 square minus 0 cube divided by 3. Already we have minus 60. Now, 35 into 3 is nothing but 105 minus 3 square is nothing but 9 minus 3 cube divided by 3. 3 gets cancelled, which will be 3 square. Again you get minus 9. When you see the numbers which are given in the second bracket, 35 into 0 is 0, minus 0, minus 0. So, the value will be 0 only. So, you write there 0 minus 60. Already we have it in the above equation. Now, 105 minus 9 minus 60, which will be 105 minus 78, which is 27. That is consumer surplus. The value of consumer surplus is given to be 27 units. Now, I shall just keep this presentation for a few seconds. You can take a picture of this, and then you have to copy this in your classwork notebook. Okay, children? Next, you need to draw this diagram and copy the content. Diagram is absolutely essential. However I have drawn here, you need to draw. You need not write to get the area below and all. Okay, just write the formula. CS is equal to area of the curve below the demand curve from 0 to 3 minus area of the rectangle. Okay, then go to this topic, this point. CS is equal to integration limits 0 to 3 within the bracket 35 minus 2x minus x square with respect to x minus 20 into 3. Take a screenshot. I want you to copy this sum. Okay, with this we are finishing the sums topic. Okay, now we have a small topic in computer science, that is information and communication technology. Just a second. The next topic what we need to learn now is information and communication technology. What is the role of ICT, information and communication technology? How it enables economic analysis. Now, when we look into, see everywhere we could understand the role of computers and information technology, and how it enables computing to be very fast, and we get accurate informations only with the help of all these technologies. Now, what are the contents of this information technology? When we want the information, the creation information, we use the technologies like our personal computers, digital scanners, okay, to create informations, and the smartphones. For processing, we will be using the calculators. We use the personal computers and smartphones also. And when we wanted to store the data, we use CDs, DVDs, pen drives, microchips and cloud. When we need to display the data, we are using the personal computers, TV projectors and smartphones. And again, for transmitting the data from one place to another, from one might be from one instrument to the other, we use the technologies of internet, teleconference and video conferencing. Mobiles, we use the mobile technologies, the different mobile technologies we use, and we also use radio technologies for exchanging the audio information. And for exchanging the data, we use what is that, emails and cell phones. Now the evaluation of ICT, when you look into that, it can be understood under 5 phases. That is, they are evolutions in computers. Next we have the personal computers, next microprocessors, then internet and wireless links we have. And all this, in economics we use the mathematical and statistical tools. Everything needs the support of this information and communication technology. Where all do we use? We use it for compiling, we use it for editing, for manipulating the compiled data, we use ICT, and after that for presenting the results in the required format, we use the information and technology. And the softwares are designed to suit different tasks, whatever is needed for analysis. Now let us have a small recap of what is MS Word. I need not teach you what is MS Word or MS Excel or PowerPoint, because you children are much better, you have much better knowledge about all this. Since it is coming under the syllabus, I would like to just give you a small a sharing of information, that's it. MS Word, it is a word processor where using MS Word we'll be able to create documents. We can edit the created document and we can print the documents, and we can save the documents for any retrievals for getting the information in the future. And we can also use it as a reference. Now when you look into the word processor, it can be the document, it can be created, it can be copied from one place to another, and it can be edited in the designed format. And you can, next is we will be able to insert words, sentences, tables, and we can also change it and delete it also. And we can also format the document in the required way. And margins can be set, the page size can be adjusted according to the need of the document. When you just look into our textbook itself, it is again a Word document. See, when you could see here, the pages, it is adjusted, we have inserted tables, we have inserted paragraphs, and the alignments all we have done, and the margins is being given, spelling check is done wherever it is needed, and you can use multiple documents, and you can also merge 2-3 files. All these are the features of word processor. And how to open a Word? There are 2 methods. Either you can right click it and you can choose new, and you can choose a new Word document, or else you can click start button, you can go to all programs and you can choose a MS Word, and or else you can double click the MS Word icon from the desktop. And the uses of the menu, what are the menus which are given in the Word document? First is home menu, where you can change the font size, you can change the color of the text, and you can apply bold, italics, you can change the font of the letters, and you can underline, you can bold it, and you can insert. The next menu is insert icon you have, where you can insert a page, table charts, you can insert the shapes, word art forms, you can insert equations, symbols, pictures, you can insert. And the next is page layout. The page layout, you can split up the page. Here when you see here, in this page itself, you could see the page layout is being used, where they have split the given page into 2 columns. Okay, this is because of the use of the page layout option. Next is the references. You can insert a table, whereas you might have seen our textbook is a very clear example for a Word document, where they have inserted tables and the author's name, and the end note is given, and the footnote is also given, and review is there, where you can you can check the spelling of the inserted text, grammar is there, translation is there, and viewing. When you wanted to take a print, you can have a print layout where the full screen reading will be there and the document can be viewed. Next is Excel. Excel again, Excel is nothing but a spreadsheet. It is a large spreadsheet which contains rows and columns, and the intersection of the row and column you call it as a cell. Now in the version of MS Excel 2007, it supports almost 1 million rows and 16,000 columns in one worksheet. You can have more number of worksheets to give the presented information in the when the data is in numerical form, that can be given a good presentation using a Excel sheet. Now how to open an Excel, like how you opened a Microsoft Word. Click the start button, go to programs, and you can choose Microsoft Excel. Next is my PowerPoint, Microsoft PowerPoint. Under the PowerPoint, it is a software which is used to perform presentation based information. See, the last class, the previous class, the consumer surplus, whatever I have taught, everything is only done using a PowerPoint presentation. How to make a PowerPoint presentation? You can click the start menu, you can click the programs, then you can choose the option Microsoft PowerPoint. Then new PowerPoint file will be opened, and there you can give a title to that and subtitle if needed, and a new slide can be inserted by clicking the icon new slide, and you can also insert a new file by using the shortcut Ctrl+M, and we can type the content, we can insert tables, you can insert pictures, you can insert a movie, or you can give sound for the content as per our requirement. And the tab design helps, it helps us to design the slide. We can also select the common design for all the slides, and you can separate the slide from each other. And the click icon slideshow, you have a slideshow option where when you click that particular slideshow option, the slideshow, so if you have prepared 25 slides, it runs one after the other from the first slide, and it keeps on running slide by slide. So PowerPoint presentation, it is a very good facilitator. It takes all the key points, and you can present it when you wanted to give a paper presentation. It is very difficult to give all the content whatever you have taken. Instead, you can give the gist of the content, where it is a good recap. You can keep in memory, and you can understand the particular topic when only the particular key points are given in each PowerPoint presentation. And even for smart class teachings or techniques also, more people have used the PowerPoint presentation to deliver the information in a very effective manner. With this, we are finishing the 11th standard portions. Okay, and I want you to, today's homework will be, I want you to do the consumer surplus question, that is the question which is given in page number 264. The next topic, producer surplus, we don't have, and apart from that, I want you to write detail answer, part D, fourth detail answer. What are the ideas of information and communication technology used in communication? The answer is in page 265. You can mark it. Okay, information and communication technology, from there till page 2, second column, undertaking analysis in the study of economics. Okay, this is quite an important question. I want you to write this also as a homework for today. With this, we are finishing to economics 11th standard topic. From the next class, we shall have revision through WhatsApp group. Thank you, children. Have a good day.